So we are getting to prime seed saving time. And if this is your very first time and you want to try saving some seeds, then a great place to start is saving tomato seeds. And I'm going to share with you the way that I do it. And I'm also going to share with you a super easy way in case this is your first time. Hi, I'm Curie, and I'm here in my small but very mighty garden where I grow a lot of food to feed my family. And I like to share the things that I have learned and am continuing to learn so that you guys can grow and make your garden, even if it's tiny, super, super mighty. So in order to save tomato seeds, you're going to need a tomato. This is one of the amethyst jewel tomatoes, and I absolutely love these, but they don't normally look like this with a point on them. And for me, that's why I'm going to be saving the seeds from this one. I just really like the way that it had the point. And when you're saving seeds, typically you want to save them from the biggest and the best, or the one that has the qualities that you want to try and replicate. And they're an heirloom. I have my heirloom snob hat on because y'all know that I love my heirlooms. And why is that important? Well, heirlooms are open pollinated, and we want to save seeds from the open pollinated varieties. But we need to talk about hybrids. These are the Mighty Sun Golds, and if you haven't tried them, I would seriously suggest you do. They are absolutely delicious and probably the sweetest tomatoes I have ever had. But they are a hybrid. And just to be clear, these guys being hybrids does not make them bad. It doesn't make them GMO, and it doesn't mean that you can't save seeds from them. Hybrid is a cross between two parent varieties, which is why they cost more, because somebody has to create the hybrids every year. If you save seeds from these, you won't get the Sun Gold like this. You will get something. Maybe it'll be a tiny yellow tomato, or maybe you will get one that's really, really sweet. The seeds will revert back to one of the parent varieties. So you can save the seeds and you can get a good tomato. You just won't get the same tomato that you started with. And that's why we want to save the seeds from the heirlooms or open pollinated varieties, because they will come back true to form. Which means if I have a amethyst jewel this year and I save the seeds, next year I will also get the amethyst jewel. It should look the same, it should taste the same. That said, I am going to eat this Sun Gold. They're so sweet. Honestly, if you guys haven't tried them, try them. Okay, so we have the tomato. The next thing we are going to need is a little mason jar or some sort of container. And the reason I like using the mason jars is because we're going to use the ring, not the metal top, but just the ring afterwards. So I just find that these work well. You want to get a little bit of water in it, and then you're going to take your tomato. I just like to score them. I do cut a little X into the bottom of them, as much as you can get out. This guy does not have a lot of seeds in there. And some varieties are going to be absolutely full of seeds, and some of them are not going to be that full of seeds. The other thing you want to keep in mind when you are saving seeds is you want the tomatoes to be really, really ripe. You want them to be fully mature so that those seeds inside are also mature. Because if you have immature seeds, it's probably not going to give you any plants the next year. You guys can see in there, there's just a whole bunch of seeds floating around in the water. You want to get all of the jelly and all that stuff in there. And then next, we are going to take a paper towel. I'm going to cut it in half because we only need half of it. And then you're going to need the ring from the mason jar. So you're going to take this. You're going to take your piece of paper towel, carefully put it over top. Then you can take your ring, and you can actually screw them on to hold it all into place. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this inside and we're just going to put it on the counter, and we're going to leave this to ferment for about 3 to 4 days. It might get a little scummy looking on top. That's okay. We're just going to leave it until we see it start to fester a bit. Pretty much is the best way I can explain it. Okay, now the easiest way to save seeds. And honestly, first time seed savers, do it this way. My mom has been doing it this way for years. You're going to get a piece of paper towel. You're going to take a tomato. This one is actually the Lucky Tiger tomatoes. I got these from my gardener. For this way, you probably want to cut it all the way open. And then we've got our piece of paper towel, and we've got our tomato with the seeds. And you're just going to take it and squeeze them onto the paper towel. Get them all out. And then all you're going to do is smear them around, just like that. And that's it. You're done. You just leave these to dry out. So this will work just fine. You don't have to do the whole fermenting. For me, I just find when I ferment them, I can dry them out easier, and then I can take them off and store them. These ones tend to get a little bit stuck. Again, it doesn't matter. You could even take this next year and plant the whole piece of paper towel in there, especially if you move them around so they're kind of in their own spot. And that is just fine. The one thing I would suggest, especially if you're doing more than one variety, is to make sure that you go ahead and label your paper towel, and you can do the same on the paper towel that you put, if you're doing the fermented method, on top there, and then you will know which ones are which. Because if you're anything like me, you think you'll remember, but you won't remember. It has been a bit more than a week, and we have the amethyst jewel seeds in there. Very carefully try and take off the top of this, and then I'll show you what to do with the seeds that are in the water. And the other seeds that we did are just stuck there on the paper towel. They're not going anywhere. Once we get all of these new ones out, if I can get the lid off, then I'll show you, after they've dried, the difference between the two. All right, so there we go. There's a little bit of mold on top. That's okay. You can just scoop that off if you want, or what we're going to do is we're actually going to dump it into this colander over this bowl. If it bothers you, you can take that off the top. And if you do want to take it off, you can just use some paper towel. I had a napkin sitting here, and it'll just stick onto your paper towel. So there we go. No more in there. We're just going to take this over here and just dump. I didn't have too many seeds in that one. Oh, just pour some water over them. And if you did have any of the jelly left in there, you can just kind of push it through. These guys look pretty clean. And then all we're going to do is dump them onto a paper towel. Paper towel, colander with seeds, and then you just, there you go. I don't like to leave them clumped up. I usually like to just move them around a little bit, spread them out, and then I'll just show you the difference in the seeds once this is all dried out. Here you can see the Lucky Tiger ones are all stuck on, and these ones are the Amethyst Jewel. I can move them around a lot easier. And if we zoom in, you can see they've got like the hairs almost sticking up on them. Whereas when we look over here at the Lucky Tigers, you can see they almost look flat. So you saw the difference between the two, and that's all I do. For me, I like to ferment them. I just feel the seeds come out a bit cleaner. They don't stick to everything. I can take them off and put them away separately. But if you're overwhelmed, like I said, you can totally do this. It will work. It's just getting them off of here can be kind of hard, but you can just rip off a little piece of the paper towel. I'll show you. Like here, we could go like that, rip that guy right out, and then you could just plant that. So as with everything in your garden, it is up to you for which method you feel is going to work best. Try them both out if you want. I don't find that the fermenting is that much harder, and I prefer the result that I get, but you do you. But if you're not ready to save seeds, or you have saved seeds and you still need more seeds because it's fun to buy seeds, then you can check out my video here of my seed haul from Baker Creek and at my gardener.